Before you click off this video, I just wanted to say I'm probably going to continue filming videos like this right now, like how I'm doing this right now, because in my opinion, this is the best way I could do these videos. Like, my camera is crap. There's nothing I can do about that. I don't have the money, I don't have the budget to do any of this. But I think this is the best solution, just standing close to the camera and talking like this. But yeah, last time we left off by defeating Skeletron himself. A beast, if I do say so myself. Hundreds of attempts later, and we finally beat him. We finally gained access to the dungeon. In this episode, I have a lot of things to do. But first things first, I decided to go to the dungeon for a couple things. And this place was hellish. So many traps, so many spikes and enemies. It was infested with all these things. And what I was doing is, while exploring, I was breaking and blocking off as much traps as possible so that when I inevitably die, I could easily return here. My brain works like that. It works at capacities that no one has ever seen. And one of the things I needed from the dungeon was the mechanic NPC. And I found her pretty early on. That was another slave added to my town. But yeah, after that, I found 4 golden keys, which I'm gonna be using to unlock golden chests. And I got myself, from these golden chests, a handgun. Pretty good weapon, you can upgrade it even. Bubble blaster, a magic missile, pretty decent, still crap. And a shadow key, along with a cobalt shield. But the shadow key was what I was mainly looking for. After that, I returned, crafted myself some necro armor, a whip. I thought it was gonna be good, but they're useless apparently, the damage isn't that. But after that, I returned to the dungeon to absolutely demolish it. I just needed dungeon bricks, mainly to mark out a giant area. And I mean giant. But I'm using dungeon bricks because I'm gonna be bombing the place. I mean, it's my favorite activity. I'm bombing the place. I'm doing some boom booms. But dungeon bricks, they aren't affected by explosions. They don't get destroyed by it, which is why I'm using them. And I'm gonna be building this arena for future bosses in hard mode. Look at this humongous area. Humongous area. But after that, I returned home, got myself some gem critters, which I'm going to shimmer into gems. And I'm gonna be using these gems to craft gem spark walls. You'll see why. But now, what I'm doing is building a hell tunnel to fight the final boss of free hard mode. I also decided to loot some shadow chests. Got myself flame lash, pretty decent. An unholy trident, probably the best weapon I got from here. And a hellwing bow. Okay, this is probably the best weapon I got. Sun fury, this is crap. And a dark lance, which is crapper. And something I realized was I had Doom Rider boots. And these boots, they make you run incredibly fast on sand blocks. So what I wanted to do was switch out the floor of this hell tunnel to sand blocks. And to do that, I had to do my favorite activity. I did some in the desert. Got myself some sand blocks. Here's me switching the floor to sand. And look at this speed. That's the kind of speed you're looking for in this game. The final bit of preparation I had to do was finding the jungle temple. Specifically, go under the jungle temple, under a specific room. You'll see what room in a second. So I did some digging and I finally found it. And you see that room over there? That is exactly the room I'm going to be needing to spawn a boss in hard mode, so for the future. So again, my favorite activity, did some bombing, played at a giant area, had a gem spark wall. And the reason I'm using gem spark walls is because this boss that I'm gonna spawn from this room destroys torches in the sea, so I won't be able to have lighting. But it doesn't destroy gem spark walls, so I'm gonna have the necessary amount of light with these gem spark walls, and they'll be preventing mobs from spawning as well. So this is a win-win situation for me. And I also added a couple houses nearby so that I could easily teleport. I also added a jungle roof so that it always counts as a jungle biome. After all that preparation, all that's left was defeating the bosses. The first boss I was going to face was Barry the Bee! In this seed, he shoots way faster. He also cycles through his phases a lot more faster as well. And his dashes get way more complex, like he does things diagonally. And last but not least, this man has a movie. You should go check it out. It's called The Bee Movie. It's fun. I had a pretty decent attempt, but this did show promise. I thought this was going to be one of the hardest bosses that I'm going to face in this challenge, but it turned out to be one of the easiest ones, judging by the attacks that he does. After multiple deaths, I also tried doing the Old One's Army. I'm doing the Old One's Army to gain access to sentries, like sentries from this event, and for that you have to beat the event itself. Died twice and returned to the bee, and after a single death, I would like to present to you and holy, actually surprised at how easy this boss was. Genuinely surprised. The loot, it wasn't really that helpful, to be honest, except for the bee nades. Those were basically the only things I needed from this boss. So I placed down the relic, the usual. I returned to the Old One's Army, added a platform as well so that I could easily dodge the attacks. I think that one simple change made me beat this event, and I finally gained access to the sentries. And after all that preparation, I think it's time to fight the Wall of Fresh. In this seed, the wall is way faster. Also, now it spawns imps that shoot way faster, and the fireball's momentum is just incredible. And this wall might as well be the Prince of Bel-Air. And I did die as usual, but I was genuinely terrified. I just couldn't do anything against these imps. I even tried building an imp farm by using an imp statue and a timer to get imp banners, place them around the arena to deal increased damage. I was still not getting through the wall's health. I felt stuck until I found a man, a legendary man, MrSephy. He made a video showcasing the Wall of Flesh blender. You guys should check him out. Incredible man, incredible person. The concept is the imps teleport whenever they're hit. So there's a trap system with dart traps and timers that sets these dart traps off, and they just go through the whole arena, going through the imps, dealing damage to them. And the wall and the triple block roof and floor makes it so that the other heads, they freaking come closer to the middle so that I could easily deal more damage with the Knight's Edge. And I'm going to be using the Knight's Edge to also knock back the Hungries. And this is just a great contraption overall. And then I tried it out to learn that I built it too high. So I rebuilt it again, but this time lower, added the freaking layers, added the traps and stuff. And then I decided to give it another try. This time I built it too low. The bottom bottom head is just staying in one single level. It's annoying, yes, but I guess we're just gonna have to bear with it. I just wasted so many hours of my life building this, but it doesn't really matter. So I just rebuilt it properly this time, and I present to you this attempt. But I did die on this attempt, but it showed me that it actually worked. And then I would like for you to witness. And that's basically it. The final boss of free hard mode has been defeated. I've unlocked so many things, and from this wall I finally got the demon heart to unlock another accessory slot. Also got the summoner's emblem, I guess it's pretty decent, and the berserker's blade, which is alright, I guess. Spend a lot of hours building these arenas, but I did do some explosions. That's it for today's episode. Wonderful time, wonderful suffering this episode, and I'll see you guys in the next one, where we'll be fighting extreme bosses, harder bosses. Hope you have a good one. See you later.